Hi, I'm Ioana. Thank you for joining me again. Today we're gonna make a super simple recipe that involves no baking or any fancy equipment. It's gonna be a cake with fruit. It's super delicious, so let me take you through the ingredients so we can get started. For this recipe, you're gonna need some gelatin, some water, you're gonna need some extra water, and I'll explain what we'll do with that in a moment. You're gonna need some mascarpone cheese, you're gonna need some Greek yogurt, some fruit of your choice, some sugar, some sponge fingers, and some warm milk. You are also gonna need a tin. If you have a silicone one, that will be great because that's exactly the one that we need for this recipe. Now, I don't have that on hand, so I'm using just a normal tin that I've just lined with some cling film. So let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take care of the gelatin. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water just to cover it. I'm gonna stir it. Until everything dissolves. And I'm just gonna leave it like that for a few minutes. I'm gonna get my bowl of water. You're gonna need about a cup of water. To this, we're gonna add just a couple of tablespoons from the sugar. And now that my sugar is starting to dissolve, I'm also going to add some vanilla extract to this, just half of it because I want to use the other half for the filling. And I absolutely love Therapeutic Grade Essential Oil. So for this recipe, I'm going to use a little bit of lemon and a little bit of wild orange. It's up to you. You can use some lime, you can use some grapefruit if you want, depending on how you like your dessert to be. But make sure that they are therapeutic grade because otherwise they will not be in the purest form. So I'm going to add just a drop of lemon and a drop of wild orange. Oh, by the way, if you do have some vanilla bean paste, you can use that, but I just have some vanilla extract today, so that's what I'm using. Now, we're going to set this aside because this is going to be the mixture where we're going to be dipping the sponge fingers in. So we're going to set this aside. In the meantime, the sugar is going to dissolve even further. We're going to go back to our gelatin that has already started to harden. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the warm milk. You don't want to make it too hot, but it does have to be quite warm so that it does dissolve. Okay. I'm going to suggest you use a smaller whisk instead of a teaspoon so that we get everything dissolved. And if it doesn't dissolve, then you can just put everything on a stove top and just wait for it until it dissolves. Next, we're going to add in the Greek yogurt. To that, we're going to add the sugar. We're going to add the milk with the gelatin. I'm going to add also another drop of lemon essential oil. If it happens that it's 2, then it's going to be 2, no problem at all. But just not too many because they are pure and they're very strong. I'm going to give this a stir. I'm going to add in my vanilla, the rest of it. And the mascarpone cheese. Or if you can call it mascarpone. Mascarpone. It's time to switch from a whisk to a spatula because what we want to do right now is we're going to add the fruit, so we don't want to be breaking it up. So I'm going to add some of the blueberries. Make sure to keep some for the actual decoration at the end. So I'm going to use about half of this, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to add in some of the blackberries. You can use any fruit you want, but I think this combination works great. I'm also going to add some raspberries. I'm going to gently fold this. It looks absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to set this aside just for now whilst we take care of the sponge fingers. So I'm going to grab my syrup and my sponge fingers. I have my tin on the side here. Now it's up to you. You can either put the sponge fingers now at the bottom, or you can put them at the end at the top, and then you can just flip it around. But I think I'm just going to add them at the bottom for now. So just a couple of seconds, that's all you need to do. I'm just going to place it in my tin. So you don't need to soak them too much. If you want, you can even use less syrup. And now we're gonna add the mixture. Very gently. And now we have to let it cool for about 4 hours in the fridge, or even better, overnight. So I'll see you the next day when it's done. This is what our dessert looks like. I've taken it out of the tin. I also had a little bit of spare mixture, so I just put it in a separate bowl, and I've decorated with the fruit that I had. I've used some blueberries, some strawberries, blackberries, a little bit of mint. It's really up to you how you want to do it. For this one in particular, I've also fanned out a strawberry, so it really is up to you how you want to decorate it. Oh, don't fall. Come on. All right. No? Stay. So now we're gonna cut into this, and we're gonna see what it tastes like. Oh, and just before I forget, if you would have had the silicone tin, then it would be a lot better, because you just simply take it out of the sides. And I think also if you would have flipped it, so you would have had the lady fingers, the sponge fingers at the top, then you wouldn't have needed to flip it around, and you wouldn't have had this rough surface. You would have had like a smooth one. I'm just going to turn it around, and I'm going to cut into it so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to cut into it now. So let's see. I'm going to cut a bigger piece, and this is what it looks like. Of course, if my fruit is not running away from me. And this is what it should look like. So you have the sponge fingers at the bottom, you have the fruit in the middle, and then you have this smooth, strong texture here on the sides. Let's transfer this to a plate. And let's give this a try. I'm gonna get a couple of bit of fruit as well. Would you like to try a little bit of my cake as well? No? Okay, let's see how the dessert turned out. It looks super exciting. I want a little bit of everything, a little bit of fruit and a little bit of the lady fingers as well. It's absolutely magnificent. Super light, super refreshing. It has no eggs. It's a no-bake recipe. It's great as well if you have guests coming over the next day, and you can prepare this the day before. And I really hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!